Another day, another statement from North Korea pressuring the United States. This time, Pyongyang's ambassador to the United Nations urged the US to implement last year's agreement between President Donald Trump and Chairman Kim Jong-un in Singapore. You may recall this was the summit that actually ended relatively well, unlike the Vietnam follow-up that came to an abrupt halt. Singapore was Trump and Kim's first summit in June 2018 and saw them agree to the June 22nd Singapore Joint Declaration, consisting of 4 sections: building a new relationship between the US and North Korea, building a peace system on the Korean Peninsula, full denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula, and receiving the remains of US forces. Since then, however, the main problem has been the inability of both sides to come up with any clear plan or roadmap for peace and denuclearization. Practically, there's been little progress for the North, other than getting a US president to engage in dialogue and seeing a suspension and then scaling down of American South Korean military drills. Crucially for Pyongyang, it is still operating under stifling sanctions. So, as the North's ambassador Kim Song gave a speech at a UN General Assembly meeting, he said not only is this peninsula still not free from the vicious cycle of aggravated tension, it is also entirely attributable to the political and military provocations perpetrated by the US. You might still wonder, why is North Korea pushing for the Singapore Agreement to be upheld, considering it concerns its own denuclearization? Well, Pyongyang wants the security guarantees Trump promised in Singapore, which could be interpreted as the removal of American troops and military hardware from Korea, not to mention the benefits of sanctions relief. The North claims it's done its part by refraining from testing nuclear weapons and long-range ballistic missiles. But the US will need a lot more than that to offer serious concessions from here. And here we are, deadlocked with just weeks to go until the end-of-year deadline that Pyongyang set for Washington to come up with an acceptable proposal. The trouble is, the Singapore Agreement was the breakthrough. Now both sides together need to compromise on the fine details if they really want to escape that vicious cycle.